I realized that when we go within, there are keys within us that can unlock this change. And I felt like those were the most profound shifts I've ever experienced. And it felt like deep activism, actually, to be doing inner work. I felt that that was a fundamental piece missing. So when you came on that retreat last year, it was very much about ecological awareness as well, and how it is that the internal and the external are related, but how it is that when we regenerate ourselves and when we connect to the natural world, that is such a key piece that's missing in our system, in our culture, I feel.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Yeah, beautifully put.
What it is that you specifically got out of it and resounded, what was the takeaway for you, so that people can hear that who are interested?
I think the real key for me is actually holding space, having the confidence to step into that role, to relax into that role, to feel authenticity and energy in that role, and get feedback as well and start improving. I felt like there was an improvement week on week with how we were holding space, sort of. Yeah, it was really, yeah, fantastic. I can't speak highly of it enough, to be honest.
Witnessing your journey was so beautiful, like the practices that you went into shadow work at one point and somatic work, and you were bringing these deep imaginings and inner child work, things that you'd never, I don't think you'd explored them, and as far as holding them for other people before, so you felt safe enough to do that.
Definitely. I've read, I've read a bit around that sort of stuff, but never actually, and maybe done some of the visualizations and meditations for myself, but I've never facilitated that for someone else. So yeah, that was brand new.
It was really powerful as well. I was like, I do this as a job, and it's like to have people to come who were like kind of a bit like, I've never done this before, and by the end of it I was sat there in these meditations like, is it okay that I'm having these like really deep shifts? I remember the meditation that you held specifically, it was the inner child one, and you teamed it with somatic work as well, so releasing trauma and going into the sensations in the body, and I really had like a full-on release in that, and really like had a download, and it was so beautiful.
It speaks to yourself and how you embody your own work, where there's such a level of openness and authenticity, and I can try, doesn't matter, you're going to get some constructive feedback, but everyone here supports you. I think that's you leading that made it very easy early on for people just to try, and everyone found out pretty quickly that they got better and they were good, and things to work on, and yeah, need to slow down here or things like that. But I think it speaks to yourself that you are able just to have that space for people to try and step into that role.
It's really beautiful to hear, because I know that some of the people that have been inquiring about this, they're like, am I qualified? Like, can I do this? And I just felt like everyone who joined that training there's no qualified, it's within you, and it was about opening your heart to your own abilities, essentially. It's so simple, but it's like we've never been sort of taught to be accepting of ourselves and empowered on those deeper levels. And a lot of it was about moving through imposter syndrome and those blockages that we have within us, that we can't do it, or that we're not a healer, or we're not a facilitator. So that was really beautiful too. I feel like that was quite a core piece that I'm going to bring into this next training in November, a bit stronger, to really move through those fears within and find practices and ways in which we can do that, which I know we did do in the one that you were on. But yeah, it feels like quite a key piece for me when I reflect on doing it again.